Thank you, everybody. And we're streaming live. Like a lot has happened. There is some content coming out on our blog about fiat USD, about why we choose Arbitrum, and also some more content about what we're working on. Right now, I'm in New York City. I just went to the event mainnet. Max, I cannot share my screen. You didn't enable it for me.
Sorry, I'll do it now. Make those. There you go. Sorry about that.
Thanks. All right. So I can now share my screen. Thank you, Max. So basically, yeah, I'm now in New York. I went to mainnet. It was very interesting to meet a lot of people there and to talk about what we're building. And there's a lot of very good feedback, a lot of interest from a lot of different parties. And yeah, let's show you guys around, right? So basically, what we have been testing, like the last week, we went live with our beta. And basically what we have done is have a group of around 40 people test the app extensively. So people were able to sign in, go to the KYC flow, and being able to actually get in, like here, their bank account. What they can do here is that they can like exchange their fiat. And this is just, this is the CFI. We exchange it. Believe it or not, but this is already a lot of work because of the legacy CFI system, but it works. We got it working. So we have a traditional account here where you can exchange money back and forth. If you want, you can receive money to your bank account. This is of course testnet, so this is not the mainnet banking layer. That's what we're going to deploy probably next week or the week after that. And you can actually send money out to any external IBAN or Swift account, et cetera, et cetera. This is something we're still still working on, the money out flow of things on the UI part. Right, and then of course, most important thing is that we have a mint function where you can actually mint your own stablecoin. So as you can see here, we can go from US dollars to fiat USD, meaning that you have your own on-chain stablecoin that you mint yourself. Like instead of like if you go to Coinbase, etc., it's a circle that prints a big pile of money. You don't know if it's backed or not. In this way, there's actually a treasury account that's held by the DeFi Bridge DAO that will be launched in Monaco. And basically the US dollars will be sent to that treasury account. And from that treasury account, the fiat USD is minted. And it's always like inspectable. We're working now with Chainlink to make these checking of these accounts even more decentralized. But in theory, everybody can check the treasury balance and see how much is in there. And also the contracts enforce that we can never mint more fiat USD than there is actually in the treasury account. So let's give that a try. I'm now going to mint 800 and let's make it like 800. I'm going to mint 800 fiat USD, right? So then it asks me to which chain do I want to mint. And as you see, like we're also, of course, going to deploy on Ethereum. We're looking at deploying on Polygon. And we're also, I had conversations with Moonbeam from Polkadot or Terra Network or et cetera, et cetera. We can basically deploy here to any EVM compatible chain.
And we're actually running on testnet, I think, at the moment for Ethereum and Polygon, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Right now on Ethereum, on Kovan, and on Polygon, on Mumbai, we're already actually have it live and it's working. We just want to wait a little bit before we deploy that because we will also have a bridge that we actually also already testing so that when I will talk about that in a little bit, what that means. So you can see here in Arbitrum, we have a network fee, a FluidFi fee, and that is now both set to 0. And actually the DeFi bridge DAO, when I now press mint, what's happening right now is that, yeah, so we basically call the DeFi bridge DAO's smart contract. The money is sent to the DeFi bridge DAO, which is like a DAO, which we purposely separated from Fluid Finance because we want to separate these two entities because the DeFi bridge DAO will be just a protocol where also other banks can join. So fiat USD is a product that is built for Fluid Finance by the DeFi bridge DAO. And basically, as you see, we now, it's very fast. Arbitrum is really, really amazingly fast and it works very well. You can see here, we now minted 800 $800 to our bank account, you can see that here $800 is minted and we have a higher fiat USD balance. And we can also see that here on chain. So we can inspect everything on chain. So now let's go back. If we want to redeem this, we go from fiat USD to USD. So let's get our funds back, right? So again, I want to explain before I continue a little bit further what is happening here and how we position this. So FluidFi is a Swiss regulated bank, which we will also capitalize with security tokens, which Robert will tell more about later, but we're going to do an airdrop to all our community members and people that we hold dear to our heart and that we want to have us join in this adventure to really disrupt the global banking system. And the DeFi Bridge DAO is a protocol that basically creates real-world create real-world assets on a blockchain. The DeFi Bridge DAO then looks at the Fluid Finance, it has a Fluid Finance bank account, and basically when money is sent to that account, the only thing that account accepts is basically money in from FluidFi and money out from the DeFi Bridge DAO bank account back to FluidFi that then will distribute that again to its users. So there's a very clear separation there. So Fluid Finance is the bank, which will have banking products, which will have saving products, investment products, borrowings, etc. What Robert talked about. And the DeFi Bridge DAO is really the missing piece that is able for Fluid Finance to mint or other banks to mint real-world assets to a blockchain. So that's why we separate these two things. And fiat USD is a product from the DeFi Bridge DAO created in collaboration with Fluid Finance. And we will also have two websites. We have the Fluid Finance website, and we will have the DeFi Bridge DAO website, where the fiat USD, this is a product from the DeFi Bridge DAO, which also other banks are interested in working with. All right, so now let's redeem, right? So we minted it. So this, as I explained, if you mint fiat USD, the US dollars on your account are sent to the account, the treasury account at the DeFi Bridge DAO. And then the smart contract sees that, mints that to the address that is connected to your bank account. If we redeem money, we basically send our fiat USD back to we kind of burn our fiat USD. Then that proof of that burn is then sent to a contract, and then that contract triggers a actual fiat transfer from the DeFi Bridge DAO treasury account to the Fluid Finance account, where we then on the back end see okay, this account with this Ethereum address sends in this amount of burn transaction, and then we see that fiat money is coming in, and then we correctly distribute that to the correct account. Also, something really cool to note there is that the data of which Ethereum account is connected to which personal data is only held by FluidFi. And as you know, privacy laws, etc. in Switzerland are very strict. So this data is very secure. So basically, you cannot just the data will never be hashed on chain or something like that. So you don't have to worry about that. All right, so let's do this. If we redeem, we do have to call the contract ourselves. So you saw when we mint something, basically FluidFi contract is called by the DeFi Bridge DAO. So DeFi Bridge DAO kind of sponsors that payment. And for the redemption, because it's your money, you're in control, you need to call the contract yourself. We can see that here. Okay, I want to redeem 808 fiat US dollars, fiat USD. And then I need to confirm this transaction on chain. And we can see that here. Confirm the transaction. Say, all right, your redeem request is now being processed. All right, thank you. And it's now redeemed. So as you saw, it's really fast. And it's that fast because the block times in Arbitrum is much quicker. And also the gas fees are much lower. And the response times is really quick. It really works very well. So then we go back here and we can see the redemption of $808 is complete. So now we've been full cycle. yeah, one thing you might ask, like, okay, now I have fiat US dollars on my account, and what then? Well, that's up to you, right? So we, as DeFi BridgeDAO, want to be just one building block, and that's just, you know, being the gateway between CeFi and DeFi, and being able to mint real-world assets to a blockchain. And then what the user wants to do after that, it's up to the user. And, you know, we are looking at creating a Curve factory pool where you can deposit your US dollars, or we're of course talking with Aave if we have enough volume to also get a proposal there. Bancor or other protocols we're all in talks to see, or SushiSwap, etc., where we can gain more volume for fiat USD. That's what we're doing right now simultaneously. But in the beginning, it will be just, it's something we need to build up together as a community. So when we go live with this, we will release more information about how we want to do this. Yeah, so that's a very short like description of this. I can talk on much longer, but I think maybe somebody else wants to say something about this. Or
Nick, do you want to add some stuff to that technically?
No, I think it was a good overview from Amadeo. And our beta testers have been running this for the last week. Luckily, there were no major issues that we had to fix or any major bugs that we found. It was all just some minor UI details, some of which we already fixed. A lot of people will be happy that mint balances and invest is now centered and no longer left aligned, and that some of the paddings are no longer 7 pixels, but now 8 pixels. Other than that, there were no major issues. Still some open things from the UI that we are gonna add or fix in the coming days. Yeah, but so far beta test was very helpful for us, and also very cool to see that there's no major issues, and that should give us a good confidence to go on with the real world real money tests internally, and then let some people spend some real money in this app, and then we are going to go to mainnet and live production environment.
Yeah, but I know we're testing that. We're testing that in the company, because I've sent in like real money, like my own real money. I transferred it to like to the backend team. So hopefully they're actually testing it, not like spending it somewhere. But like the live test is actually happening inside FluidFi for the moment, right?
yeah, so yeah, true. But there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen there. It's unfortunate that, yeah, and CeFi things, it's quite hard to because there's always a lot of unclarities, you know, like the documentations and stuff are very unclear, to be honest. But we're working on that, and we're trying to go to mainnet as soon as possible. And that's, I think that's probably the next step that we want to do. So all the beta testers will get some real fiat from us, and then they can send that back to their own personal bank account and send that back in, or send it to somebody else. Or so that is the next step, and that's a pretty big one. And then also, of course, the fiat USD contracts that you can mint and redeem to actual mainnet. We also have still some issues to solve there, but they're all like kind of like these not major things, but more like, okay, we just need to do it now. We need to stick our head down and just start working. I see it's all still in beta, so it's still,
yeah.
still
but with the fiat USD, the fiat USD smart contracts, we've done it in-house, and we've also had an external company audit it, right?
Correct. Yeah, we had an audit, and yeah, I'm not sure if I can show that now, but yeah, we had an audit, and we'll publish the audit soon, probably on our blog. There is an article coming out today by Ravi, I think, and that article is going to talk about fiat USD. I'm not sure if that's also covering the audit we have, or like linking to it, but let's see. I can add that there as well. So we had an external audit. Yeah.
Yeah, you can talk about that. It was done by
FluidFi. Yeah. Solidified did our audits. They're one older like security company, and they're checking all the different. They checked all the different possibilities. We did find one issue actually afterwards, but it's a little bit of a non-issue, more like a workflow thing that we need to solve, but it's a minor fix. Yeah, something else that I think is really cool to say is that with the DeFi bridge DAO, like of course now we have Fluid Finance, and Fluid Finance will give you, all the possibilities, whatever you want to do here, right? But this structure of like the minting and the redemption process, we put that into a DAO, and also other banks will be able to integrate this as well. And I think that is the real kicker here, and this is going to be the real hockey stick moment also for like the DeFi bridge DAO tokens that we're like working on, and the FluidFi security tokens that we're now constructing as well. After an unfortunate event with Derek, and I said that yesterday in my I said yesterday in my video as well, but I said to Derek, like, fuck off, I just want to build things, I don't want to do politics, and I'm happy that we're back building. It's very unfortunate, but Derek really fucked up a lot of things psychologically wise, and just slowing things down in a political way. I mean, there's 10,000 things to do if you have constantly somebody that's doesn't really understand what's going on, but it's blocking things or stealing money from pools. Yeah, I hope we're past that, and I hope the community also just wants to build with us, and that's
so you had an announcement. You had an announcement. You had an announcement because we're going to open up our testers, right? Do you want to?
Yeah, so I was not sure if I could say that, but yeah. That's what
people are seeing. People are seeing it in real time. We're going to embrace this idea of radical transparency. So we're not going to be like a glossy brochure type of bank, but it's the idea is this is a really community-driven organization. So
so I mean, as everybody can see, like in the last, I think in the last AMA, I also really shortly showed the local host version of our web app. But now we're going to open it up. There is an invite code that you need to actually sign.
Why don't we
sign
maybe
up?
For the invite code, why don't we drop it in our Discord and our Telegram?
Yeah, exactly. So the people that want to test it, they do need to do some work for it. They need to find the invite code, but it's indeed very easy. We will drop this in a Medium article or in our Discord channel.
I think Ravi should put it just in our group, so it'll just be fluid. It'll just be in the Fluid group. So it's not for the whole world; it's for our community.
Yeah.
So, but the point is I think Amadeo and the tech team have an amazing idea, which is we've run it for a week now. We started off with 35 testers or so, and now we're
41.
41. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to keep up with it. More keep getting added in. So. So I was really happy. Elsa just added some people in. Elsa, who did you add in just a minute ago?
Just a minute ago, I added Nick Carter, who had the occasion to get ACE from Nick, I believe.
Cool. So Nick Carter, but there were others that you added in as well. I mean, that's amazing. Nick Carter's incredible. I mean, Nick Carter's the kind of guy that should be using this. I mean, this is great. Who else?
Besides Nick Carter, you also have Cupatroli, and Lucas 0x, I believe, on Twitter, which is part of the Bankless team.
Yeah, and you got Chainlink God as well.
Yeah, Chainlink God as well. Almost forgot.
That's great. Just today. So that's cool. But Amadeo's ideas is that we're going to up to our whole community. So the FluidFi community, those of you that are in our Telegram or Discord, Ravi will put the details there. But you can sign up and test it as well. You're very welcome to do it, and let us know your thoughts.
Yes, and we'll also drop more information probably next AMA, about the DeFi bridge DAO, airdrop that is then coming next, because we want to basically FluidFi is the bank, but the DAO that will not be FluidFi DAO, but it's more the DeFi bridge DAO. Just there's going to be also a new website. There's going to be two websites, FluidFi website and DeFi bridge DAO website, and we're working on that now. And there is a cool challenge on that website soon, which you can do to become part of our community. Yeah.
So I think I saw a number of questions that people ask, why Arbitrum? So I don't know, Nick, do you want to tell us like why Arbitrum? I mean, when I got together with you and like Amadeo in Amsterdam, I think it hadn't even launched and you were still running it on Mumbai, the testnet for Polygon. But why Arbitrum, people have asked?
Yeah, we were running it on Kovan and on Mumbai, the Polygon testnet. To just initially we started there because we intended to go live on mainnet first, on Ethereum mainnet, and then we wanted to from the beginning go multi-chain. So we also deployed to Polygon testnet to test all of our bridging functionality and all of that. And yeah, then right now the gas fees on Ethereum are kind of expensive. So that is an issue both for minting and redeeming small amounts, because we want to provide it at cost to users, but if the cost is very high, then it doesn't work to mint or redeem small amounts. So instead we looked, okay, what's the next best option? And luckily Arbitrum just launched, and they are doing a great job. A lot of projects already migrated there or running a version on their L2. So we thought, well, let's give it a try. And yeah, a few days later, we were live on the testnet of Arbitrum. So far, so good. They also had a few issues at the beginning, but everything is looking good. And yeah, the transaction fees are super slow and super low, and the block time super fast. So it's a much better user experience, as you saw just in the video. Like minting and redeeming, we still say you will receive your tokens within 2 minutes, but usually it's more like 30 seconds tops. And that's only possible on Arbitrum. Like on Ethereum, we would have to wait for the blocks and then the blocks to be confirmed. So yeah, it would take a lot longer and cost a lot more. So I think Arbitrum is a great place to start. It's picking up a lot of momentum. A lot of the protocols that we want to integrate with and open pools with are there. So this is where we're going to start. And then mainnet and other chains are going to come soon after.
One of the first things they always talked about was that, you know, a core piece of infrastructure that we think is missing for mass adoption is to allow users to basically go from their bank account with us directly into DeFi and then back. And so that's kind of how we created the stablecoin. So Ravi's got a great article, I think. Is it coming out or has it already come out?
It's already out.
On Medium?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can read a bit about like our vision for like this bridge essentially mechanism, which led us kind of by accident to create a stablecoin. But Nick, how do we, people have also asked as well, like, how do we maintain the peg? And like, how do we maintain the peg? And how do we know that we're not minting more than is actually in our treasury?
Yeah, both very good questions. So let's start with the second one. We have oracles that monitor the treasury account on the CeFi side, and then bring that value on chain or any change in that value. So they will update the smart contracts, the Oracle smart contracts, and that itself, like if there's a new inflow of funds on the CeFi side into the treasury account, this will be reflected in the Oracle, and then the Oracle will allow to mint more fiat USD token. But during any mint process, the smart contract of fiat USD itself checks what is the current balance of the treasury account, and can I mint more tokens to not exceed that balance? So the code itself enforces that there's always a 100% backing. And regarding the peg, that's always an important question for stablecoin. This is a bit unique in this case because there is the peg on a second market, like for example, fiat USD, USDC, or fiat USD on a curve pool. But and no matter what that on-chain peg is, you can always mint or redeem one fiat USD for $1 with us in the web app you just saw. So if the peg does fluctuate and goes away from the 1-to-1, then that is a profit opportunity for you, because you yourselves can mint new fiat USD and sell it if it is above peg, or you can buy cheap fiat USD for 90 cents if it goes below peg, bring it to the web app, redeem it for $1 and make an instant and risk-free profit. With other stablecoins, that's not possible because you cannot mint or redeem directly. But with fiat USD, you are the mint, and you can make sure that the peg stays at 1. And if it ever does deviate, it's just a profit opportunity for you.
I think Amadeo's idea, like a real degen to maintain the arbitrage, was that we would build a bot, and then the bot could be for the DAO, and it could be a money-making opportunity for the DAO. So forget about like having like whatever, like liquidity, whatever, like market makers or whatever. So I
Yeah,
think,
correct. That's like basically like maximum extractable value, because like would be like if the peg goes up or down, we will have like enough liquidity to boost that. But the nice thing is, like, I actually talked to Michael like from Curve a little bit about this, and basically like if we have a correct like factory pool in Curve, like, and if we inject it with enough volume, the chances of it going out of peg are very small. If we build the trust, if there's a Curve pool, people will buy it back because there's just a huge arbitrage opportunity at that point. Like we're like it would be the only reason why you should be anyway, if you should be scared if Lloyd's goes bankrupt or something, and that's like very small because the funds are then are insured, the treasury accounts are insured by our insurance coverage. So basically you have $1 in a treasury account, and then that's then on chain. Like if that goes off peg, then of course you want to arbitrage it, because you know for sure that you can get $1 in CFI.
yeah.
The question is, do you want maybe at some point when CFI nobody wants CFI anymore? Yeah, that's also a black swan, but that's
It'll be a good black swan though, right? So I like the meme that the more you kind of whatever, like you redeem back to like your fiat, the less happy it goes from a smiley face to like sad and crying as you send more back. I think that's great. So, but Amadeo, you raise a good point as well about like how secure the accounts are on the CFI side. So I've just been so busy over the last week. I did really out of the corner of my eye see some conversations from Jack in our community who's an insurance expert, wanted to ask some questions about insurance. Simon Gonzalez Moreno, who's a lifer in the Lloyd's market, is our head of insurance. He's working day and night thinking about insuring the CFI side of things, but also we're working on like, on-chain type of insurance. So more details to come. But the simple answer is that all the stuff on the CFI side of things is held in client safeguarded fund accounts with our banking partners. So those are ring-fenced accounts. Those are accounts that cannot be used by the bank itself. And in addition, we're putting in place insurance to cover that for the treasury account. So the insurance through Lloyd's, very conventional. It's theft and fraud insurance. So it's about as safe as you can get. And then like Nick just said, on the DeFi smart contract side of things, essentially it's, the contract enforces that you can't mint more than actually exists in the bank. And we're talking cash. We're not talking about whatever some other stable coins might have backing them or not. So, okay, so maybe we'll move on now and we'll talk about the Fluid tokens. So the Fluid tokens, just to remind everybody again, Fluid Finance is a company that I'm setting up in Switzerland. That company is in formation. I've kind of been working day and night on it for the last week or so. I'm going to capitalize it 100%. I'm putting in my own money. I'm capitalizing it in ETH. As soon as it's done, I'll publish all those documents. There's quite a serious process involving lawyers and tax advisors and auditors and the notary. So with our idea of radical transparency, you will see all of it as I form it. And then 4 or 5 business days later, you'll see it in the local registry here in Geneva, the Registre de Commerce. We'll publish that as well. And then essentially that company, I will own 100% of it because it's all my money that I put up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer, it's I think about 11% in the company to those who held WCRES tokens as a sign of how much I appreciate that people, that people believed in me and this project. And so Fluid Finance essentially is going to continue the best of what I was previously trying to do in life. And then it's going to add in some amazing new products that you just saw, like Amadeo and Nick talk about. I really think it's revolutionary. I will finance this company, this idea until we replace banking with code or I die trying. I really think it's a missing piece of architecture that will enable mass adoption. The value of this company is essentially that people can go from a bank account to DeFi and back. That's one thing. That's very narrowly focused essentially on like DeFi people who are very interested in crypto. I think it replaces exchanges. I think it's unique. I don't think there's anything else that's out there like it. And we're going to get our web app in the hands of some very, very interesting high profile testers. More and more people are coming. So, but what the next phase essentially is more normies. It's people who don't really want to get into crypto, but it's people who want the benefits of crypto. And the benefit of crypto is like the impact of the internet. It disintermediates centralized organizations. So in our case, our view is that if there's normies listening, this is the blockchain. The blockchain is the internet for money. It disrupts banking. We think that the core banking system isn't that great. We think we have a better model. It's kind of what our friends at Bankless call the DeFi mullet, although it's not exactly the style we're going for. It's essentially it's a bank in the front, and it's powered by DeFi in the back. So this company, like I said, it will apply for licence bancaire light, which is the first step of it's a banking license here in Switzerland. It'll be the first ever that's going to be capitalized in ETH. And so, I really hope people will consider joining us on this journey. The entire tech team, which is like the really, the core of like what we've got here, a multidisciplinary team as well that covers like insurance, marketing, investor relations, compliance, legal, etc., are all part of this. We've got a new website up as quickly as we can. So it's a community. You'll see from the website that it's a community-driven organization. This isn't a bank that gives you something. This is a community of people that's building for you. So the stablecoin, we see it as like DeFi stablecoin, your stablecoin. This is what you should be using. If you like what you see here, get involved. Like, we need help. The company isn't even legally formed yet, but like everybody's working with this single goal. So we hope that the community will be part of it. The airdrop is coming. The airdrop is coming today. We've taken an analysis of who was holding WCRES's certain block height. There's a number of edge cases where people are holding it in different wallets, where people bought thinking that they were supporting the company, but actually the price was falling. Those edge cases, there's a process to get that to us. We've got something set up in our Discord. You can contact all the admins across our different channels. We'll do everything we can to support you. Obviously, at a certain point in time, things get cut off. So, you can't buy WCRES now and do it. But I really want people to join us on this, on this journey. This is going to be hard. I mean, it's a real challenge to compete with the global banking industry. But the reason why I'm really passionately committed to having like a publicly available community-owned company is the only way we will be able to do it is if people stand forward and people stand and say like, we really want to be part of it. So those people that are eligible, you can check in our socials, how you check if your address is eligible. That airdrop is coming tonight. We've spent a lot of time speaking to the community. I've spoken to as many people as I can over the last week or so, particularly people who've been with me the longest, and also some people that are very vocal that they like or don't like the idea of opening pools immediately. My first thought was to like take the ETH out and to take the WCRES out, to recreate this and to open a pool immediately. Quite a few people have persuaded me that that is not the right idea. And, it's a tough decision to make as CEO, but I do agree that it is not the right idea to open the pool right now. I take all the responsibility for that. That's entirely my decision. It is actually, my prerogative since I'm creating the company and I'm offering this to people. So I hope people will bear with us. It's been a lot of effort to get here. Not everybody's going to be happy. There's 3,000 address holders. I got a lot of hate mail in my DMs. I got a few nice encouraging messages. This is what I'm really passionate about in life. This is what I'm going ahead with. Everybody's getting Fluid tokens tonight. If you want to stay with me, that's great. I'd be really humbled if you do. If you want to exit and sell, we're going to put in place a mechanism where you can exit and sell. I've been persuaded by many of the tech people and many of the feedback I've got from the community that opening a pool using an AMM price curve is a pretty bad idea because it incentivizes pretty much everybody to sell. If you're a holder, you might sell, you're likely to sell because you think that everybody else is going to sell and you can just buy back lower. If you yourself are going to sell, well, the price curve works against you too. I mean, you may want to sell, but like it's like yelling fire in a crowded theater. The first person out the door doesn't get treated the same typically as the last person. And that's the way it works on AMMs. And I am really committed to treating everybody as fairly and the same as I can. So an AMM price curve won't allow me to do that. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to put together a different mechanism where those people who are going to sell, they go into a certain group. They go into a, they themselves form a certain unit and they can sell. That's great. They will all be treated the same. It's not going to be the one who can write the best script or the fastest bot that is going to, so everybody else gets treated differently. So sellers, people are going to exit. That's fine. It's a gift. It's a gift from me. If you don't believe it in the company, I really understand. And, the situation's regrettable and I'm the biggest loser from it. So what you get is you get the ability to sell or to hold. And if you're a seller, if you want to exit, you'll all get treated the same. You won't get treated differently. If you want to hold and you want to stay with the company, we're putting together a very, very clear mechanism where people can do that and they'll be rewarded for it. There's a number of different things that we're going to offer for rewards. One is like a staking program. So you'll be rewarded for essentially continuing to hold the Fluid tokens. Another one is that we're probably going to have a public sale and everybody who holds Fluid tokens will receive a discount and there'll be an ability to participate in that public sale. The third thing is that there's going to be a drop like Amadeo talked about, an airdrop of DBD tokens, which is the DeFi Bridge DAO. DeFi Bridge DAO is the greatest thing I've ever heard of. I just love the idea of like moving treasury and mint out of like under my control and putting it under community control. My real objective after I replace banking with code is to exit to community. So the third thing you get is you get an airdrop of DBD tokens. The fourth thing that like everybody gets who owns Fluid tokens is premium bank accounts. So there's a reason to stay. There's also a real reason to go. I understand why many people are angry. And like, I haven't been able to read all the DMs, but I understand the anger in the community. So this is it. This is the best I can do. It's radical transparency. You'll see that like, I'm not that confident a guy. I'm really delighted that there's an amazing team around who can like help. I really need help. The company needs help. The core team would really like it if the community would stand forward. This is a hard decision to make. My first thought was to open the pools immediately, but I do it because I honestly don't think it would be fair. So the tokens that we're going to drop tonight, there's a two-stage process probably as we split people into those who want to exit and those who want to continue to hold. For the people that are going to exit, our plan tentatively is that you'll be able to do that within 3 weeks. We need to spend some time to write some contracts so people can see exactly how it's going to work. I need to think it through with the core team, with some feedback from the community, and with the lawyers where I spend most of my time these days. And then there'll be another group, there'll be holders that shouldn't be so interested in selling immediately. After that 3-week process is over, the exiters will have gone. They will have left this new young community, and we'll be left with those who are believers, who believe in fluid finance. The thing after that, I think, is that there'll be another 3-week period. So the token has a maximum lock on it of 6 weeks, I think, or 7 weeks. Or Nick might have told me that it was the 15th of November at 12 noon. Is that right? I appreciated the 30-second heads up before we got on this call. So I think that's what's being coded into it. My idea was that it was going to be 6 weeks, but the point is that the people who are going to exit will already have gone. This company needs money. I mean, to be really honest, like we're trying to do something different that's never been done before. So this company is going to become a bank, a fully regulated bank in Switzerland, we hope. I mean, to be really clear as well, this company totally believes in compliance. We totally believe in KYC. Everybody who gets products, financial products from this company goes through extensive KYC, and we believe in KYT. So, there are bad things that happen in this world. And like, we can't just complain that like, compliance shouldn't exist. So happily, we've integrated with Verif, which is a really cool like, ID provider. It takes less than a minute. So you can see in the tester group, if you really believe in this, join our tester group and you can see it. You can do it yourself and see that it's pretty painless. We hope to offer this as well as a common good throughout DeFi. So you can get your identity verified with us, and then you should be good throughout the entire DeFi space. So look, this is the idea is that this company definitely needs money. I mean, we have money at the moment. I'm capitalizing it with about $1 million of my own money. We're going to do it in ETH. It's like really a super cool idea. But the global banking industry has a lot of resources, you might have noticed, and to compete against them, we could use some resources too. So we're probably going to have a public sale where we will invite people who are interested in this kind of product. And what I'm really happy about is we're not just some dreamers wandering around with a PowerPoint presentation saying, hey, give us some money, and then maybe in like 6 months or 12 months, we'll have produced a product. There's a live product right now. I've said to some of the investor relations team, stop sending people like a term sheet. Stop sending them like a pitch deck. Send them a link to test the product. And if they like the product, they should get involved, right? And after that, we can talk about terms. So the idea is that those of you who are dropped these fluid tokens that come from me, if you don't exit, I think there's amazing potential for this company. I think this company will definitely change the world. And so if you stay with us, there's that period, 6 weeks or the 15th of November at 12 noon, then that's the maximum amount that it can stay locked for. You're going to exit, it'll be released earlier. But if you're going to stay with us, that gives us time to go through the public sale. Everybody that holds the fluid tokens gets in at the very, very lowest price. Plus there's a discount to that if you want to buy more tokens. Plus there's a staking program. Plus there's a DVD DAO tokens. But the point is that we will definitely be creating a pool on Uniswap or SushiSwap the 15th of November at 12 noon. There's a lot of division about which one we should go to. I kind of regret that we asked the question, but you know what? We're also working with some partners to do co-liquidity mining. That these discussions are happening also in real time. They're very, very interesting. A lot of the people from the investor side have said, don't run the public sale for so long. You want to keep it short. You want to keep it interesting. So it's very possible after that first initial period of a couple weeks where we get people out who don't want to stay with Fluid, we're going to do the public sale. We're starting on the marketing. It's going to start from like this weekend. You're going to see some increasingly very interesting stuff explaining who we are as a company. So personally, I think it's very unlikely we'll go until the 15th of November. I think we'll do probably like a week or two maximum of a public sale, and then we open for trading. So that's how it is. That's how it is with the tokens. I know many of you will be very disappointed. I can see a lot of like angry messages in my DMs. I'm getting used to it. I've got thick skin. I can't change the past. I can only try to make this something better in the future. But you should know that my fluid tokens are going to be locked for 5 years. And in 5 years' time, this will be the greatest investments of everybody's life, I hope. I hope this will be the bank alternative that is bigger than any bank out there. So for those of you that stay, I really appreciate it. And for those of you that are leaving, I appreciate you even considering like being part of the company. You've got a couple of weeks to think about it. There'll be a decision date that'll come out. Everybody who holds the tokens will decide whether they're essentially in or out. And you should all know that the core team and people who've joined from the community are really just as passionate about this vision as I am. So if there's any questions about the fluid tokens, I'm happy to answer them. I don't know, maybe Nick could talk a bit about the technical side of things.
Yeah, we have been developing and adding the necessary features for the Fluid token over the past few days. Well, a lot of changes, but we are trying to just find the best solution so that everybody is treated fairly for what they want. If you want to go and leave because you got rattled by recent events, there is going to be an option. If you want to stay with us and continue the journey, you're very welcome to do so. The Fluid token contract is ready now. Our security guy is giving it one last look. We are running some final sanity tests and on the local networks, and everything is looking good. So yeah, soonish we will do the airdrop. Then you will get the contract address and see the token in your wallet. And as Robert said, next week you will get more details about the different options that you're going to have along the lines if you want to exit or stay with us. And yeah, this is, I think, the best solution that we can find to treat everybody fairly and happily and not have only the bots win in the end.
Amadeo, do you want to talk a little bit more about the token or your vision?
Yeah, so I agree with what Nick said. I would like to iterate it there as well. Like, if you want to, like, we call it like rage quit. If you're like, yeah, and it's really understandable, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff has happened. So if you want to do that, we will find a solution how to, anybody to get out, or maybe sell a portion of it if where needed. We will see how we can do that. More about that soon. And the airdrop will come, but you need to take into account the airdrop will be on Arbitrum layer 2, so it's not on Ethereum mainnet. So you will have to switch network, etc. I think probably the best thing is I will make a short video about that. I also made a short video in an article that's coming out tomorrow about Arbitrum. And I will then also probably make a short video like how to switch your network and your MetaMask and how to add the token. I think we're gonna make a special landing page for that, right, Nick? Or what is the plan there? I think a landing page should probably be good.
We have a lot of websites and landing pages and Medium articles in the pipeline. And yeah, we just need to find time to complete them.
And to be very clear, we're just going to make 2 websites, not 3 or 4 decision here, because else it's like unmanageable. So, and then there will be a couple of pages in there, and it's going to give a lot of overview. And as you see, we're racing and building it as we go.
Ravi, do you want to talk about some marketing stuff that's coming up?
Yeah, so the Fiat USD article was released today. There's a FluidFi manifesto coming, written by Robert. That's still being checked by lawyers, I think. And then tomorrow there's going to be an article from Amadeo mostly about Arbitrum and why we picked it, along with a video of him explaining it. And there's also going to be info on tokenomics. And yeah, also a community ambassador program. So you'll be rewarded for making content, tweeting about us, writing articles, making memes maybe even. So that's going to go live also very soon. And you can use the Medium articles for inspiration.
I think that's great. And so one of the things, like to reiterate again, that we're implementing across the company, we'll see how it goes, is radical transparency. So we had some of our stand-ups where we had it like essentially broadcast. I think we live streamed it. Wasn't the best day for it because we had a lot of outages and we had a lot of problems in the back end. Although that's life. You're gonna see the good and the bad. So I'm gonna open a lot of my discussions up. You saw me speak to Nick last Sunday before we went live with the web app with our testers. I know that there's a few people have asked questions about insurance. I'm thinking of just opening up my discussions, so my Zoom calls or whatever. If you want to see me talking to like Simon Gonzalez Moreno, head of insurance, we have plans in place. The Lloyd's insurance is coming for the bank deposits. We're working on ways that the crypto side can be insured as well. Simon was in London working on that this week. The marketing team, we're gonna that I want you to really feel that this is not a typical company. This is not a typical centralized company. Anybody who knows Amadeo, myself, the political views of a lot of it, it's like of a lot of us, it's like it's definitely not in favor of centralization. We really love moving to the community model, the DAO model, and I encourage people to step forward. If you look at people on this call, one of the main reasons why I took the company public was to have people from the community step forward and help. And so it's really incredible. Like Nick Amadeo and Ravi have come from the community. They all like, you know, contacted me on Telegram. I mean, it's like, I'm really humbled that like people like this, of this quality would step forward, and then given the difficult times would join me in the new company. So, you know, but you know what, we need a lot more. We need a lot of help. So, you know, when you think about whether you want to stay or whether you want to go, I mean, if you're the kind of person that wants to roll your sleeves up, the kind of person that realizes it's going to be a long, hard fight, that the rewards are incredible, but it's like not going to be easy sailing, that's the real people that want to stay with us. And like, you know, we really like you to be involved in the community, and, you know, also as much as you can in the core team. So like Ravi said, we're opening up a community program. We're going to create a pool. I'm going to put in my own money to start it. And so we're going to pay people who will essentially help us with stuff. Like, you know, we definitely need help. I got lots of DMs telling me all the things that we've done wrong. And, you know, you're right, lots of stuff we're doing wrong. And what we'd really like is somebody to stand forward and say, maybe I'll help you with this. And there will be a pot of money, including some fluid tokens, but also like,
maybe this is
real
also
money,
a good time, Ravi, to talk a little bit about your ambassador program you've been working on, or is that still in stealth mode?
It's basically ready. I'm just waiting for a thumbnail for the Medium article, and you'll be rewarded for anything you can come up with. There's no clear parameters, but it can be anything from a Medium article to tweets to creating content, creating infographics, memes, guest posts somewhere, but also anything you can just think of, like maybe you're doing a YouTube video with the beta and you can be rewarded with that.
Yeah, or if you program in Golang or Flutter, if you know C++, I mean, we're desperately looking for people, right? So
Vue.js, Solidity.
There you go. Yep. So look, I mean, do we have any? I mean, I'm sure there's endless questions. We're really aware that like we haven't answered everybody's questions very, very precisely what we're going to do. What we're announcing today is the Fluid token is coming. It's an airdrop. We're announcing that the web app is being open for community members who have like the invite code, which you can find in the community groups. In terms of exact details about like splitting the community into those who want to leave and those who are committed to us in the future, those details are coming, and you know, we're doing it as fast as we can. So, are there any other I don't know, Ravi or Max, or do you see any other major questions that we can answer?
Just from me, people want to know the KYC process for becoming a beta tester. So if you don't mind explaining.
Yeah, well, it's really simple. You need to prove your identity and your and proof of address. But it's like it's very simple. Like we have like a group. We should maybe Ravi, we could open that group up, or Elsa, we can open that group up on Telegram, because I mean, it's really useful to go through and look at that. We have like hundreds of comments. I mean, some of them are on the font size, but other ones are like, you know, that you get a lot of comments about what it's like. So you know what, like you shouldn't trust, you know, you should verify. And like that applies to everything. I realize that if you really want to know what the KYC is like, I mean, you join our tester group. I mean, like it's very, very simple. I mean, we've, you know, our philosophy as a company, it's to be like streamlined, tech driven, DeFi first. You know, we do play by the rules. We are offering financial products. And so we do KYC on all of our users. And like I said, we're going to try and open that up. So you have a painless, easy process with us. Well, why not passport that throughout DeFi? So, you know, if you're watching this and you're from a DeFi protocol, and, you know, you want help with some KYC stuff, you know, let us know. But it's what you do basically is you sign up as a user, you know, you provide, you know, you do your login stuff, you provide your email, you choose a code, and then you have to enter your details, your name or whatever. You hold up your passport or your identity card in Europe. It's scanned, it's checked against databases. If your question is what databases is it checked against, it's checked against all of them. You know, we do like all the sanctions lists. So if you're like we say, if you're on a naughty list, it's, you know, it's not the right company for you. But it takes less than a minute to do it. So it's a simple, you know, it's a very, very simple process. So nobody should be intimidated by it. It's not intrusive. It doesn't ask you a whole bunch of stupid questions. Yeah, so I don't know, give it a try.
Yeah, maybe also good to know that this is also about transparency. Actually, the mobile application for Android and iOS is also like really being tested internally now. We have release notes and stuff like that. It's just like it's a bit hard for us. Like, how do we best communicate this, and how do we roll this out like in the most efficient way so everybody can use it. But in theory, like the web app and the mobile app, they're both, you know, in testing. And like if you sign up for your mobile app, you can sign up with those credentials also in the web app and vice versa. So I think that's really cool. And I think, yeah, we can probably also, we probably want to do the selected task group for the mobile app, so you can use that as well. But there's a lot of things there. What we're now missing, what we're now actually dealing with a lot is that we have quite a big backlog with a lot of like epics, because we want to make an investor page, we want to make a savings page, we do want to probably revamp our authentication layer, because we want to inject also like 2FA authentication potentially. But these things take a lot of time. Or like Robert, I'm not sure if I can tell that, but just like, you know, for example, we have also this American banking partnership, we can accept US clients, but that integration time will take some time, or like virtual cards that will take some time, login with MetaMask takes some time. So we're struggling a little bit, like setting the best priorities. To
answer your question, don't mention that. Don't mention the US bank part. I'm just kidding. It's like there's so much to do. I understand.
Yeah.
But like one of the things that we are working on is at the moment we're integrated into Currency Cloud and Accomplish, which are, Currency Cloud in particular underpins Revolut. But we are looking for we think we found a US partner that will allow us essentially to offer like full US banking services, including a card in the US. We have another one out of Singapore that we'd love to work with that can provide us the same in Australia, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Japan to come. But there's so much work. Amadeo and I talk. There's so much work to do for the back end team. Like, but this is coming. This is the vision. The vision is to be the bank alternative, and the vision is to be global. And the back end is completely on DeFi.
I think something very like, there's a lot of people in the chat now that are saying like, I think it's Mano 2K. Yeah, those, I think we should be completely transparent about that. But like, the institutional funds, that's, Derek's thing. Derek is running with that. And in my opinion, he I don't know what I can say about it, but it's just, it's just ridiculous what he was doing there. And it's up to him if he wants to continue there in his own way. We are focusing on mass adoption and retail. And, in DeFi, there is no discrimination. If you're an institutional investor or retail investor, it doesn't matter. So we are also in talks with people that want to use their FluidFi accounts to maybe pay bills. Like I met a company in New York, and they're really interested. They said, like, okay, we want to use the FluidFi accounts to basically pay out like suppliers for crypto companies. So there's a lot of like DAOs and crypto companies where this person works for. So he gets money from the DAO, and then this person pays invoices to suppliers that only accept fiat. And that flow now that is potentially going via FluidFi. And that's we will have to talk about that next week. So we're going to see what happens there. And I think that's much more interested than what Derek was doing, to be honest. But yeah, let's see. Okay, new push set the price. Let me see. Oh, so no, so the when we airdrop the tokens, they will be locked, also for us basically. So basically, nobody can create a pool. So you don't have to worry about that at all. Any more questions that I need to answer, or anybody else in the team?
No key questions from me.
Okay, I recognize everybody that there's lots of questions, lots of details to come. You know, you're seeing it, the good and the bad. You're seeing it in real time. We're doing our best. I take the responsibility myself, and it's only me for delaying creating a pool. Today, we're going to get tokens, the Fluid tokens, into your hands, and we have a process we think that is fair and that treats the two groups as they should be, which is separately. So those who want to sell and those who want to hold. So, and everybody who sells gets treated equally, which we can't do on an AMM mechanism. So, you know, exact details are to come. You can watch it. You can watch it happen in real time. So we'll get those Medium articles out. We get all the other communications out just as soon as we can. So, thanks everybody. Thanks everybody for your time. And yeah, Fluid tokens coming this evening. So.